What's up, y'all? And welcome to a special edition, WrestleMania edition of Things and Stuff with TNT. I go by the name of Terrell.
Trayvon.
And welcome, man, another edition, Things and Stuff. TNT coming at you hot, man. Coming off WrestleMania weekend. Open the weekend up with the Hall of Fame Friday, NXT TakeOver Saturday, WrestleMania Sunday. It was a long weekend, but I don't know about you. For me, it was a good one, man.
It was worth it. All the wrestling watch. We're going to start it off with the NXT TakeOver and that ladder match at the beginning of the match. 6 men put their bodies on the line for our enjoyment. And I give them, they get an A+ for me for that match, bro. Velveteen Dream's elbow drops, you feel me? One off the ladder. Adam Cole super kicking everybody.
Right.
The last one with the gun on Ricochet.
A lot of great spots in that match, man. One of the best spots to me was Ricochet doing the moonsault to the outside. I mean, Ricochet moves like a video game character for real. I mean, all the flips and stuff. I seen some of his indie stuff. He had a match with Willow Spray a couple years ago. I think that was already 2 years ago now. That set the internet on fire. Bunch of flips and highlights. This in a more controlled setting, I thought was perfect.
Yeah.
It really showcased his ability. It really showcased all these guys' abilities because Killian Dane, Lars Sullivan, the two big guys in the match, they came through. EC3, his television debut for NXT since being back with the company as EC3, I thought he shined. And like we said, Adam Cole, winning the title. That was a great match. A great way to start off your wrestling weekend, in my opinion.
I did the piggyback on Adam Cole taking a table shot after doing a ladder match.
Right, later in the night, the tag team match, Undisputed Era, Authors of Pain, a makeshift team of Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong. That match delivered too for me, man. And like you said, Adam Cole, to go through that ladder match at the beginning of the night, and then just to come back out there and take any bump, period, let alone to go through a table. I mean, these guys are putting their bodies on the line, like you said, and I'm enjoying. I'm thankful. Thank you. I thoroughly enjoyed everything that I saw.
Yeah. Also, I seen a little bit of the match, but Johnny Gargano.
Yeah, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, they had a great match. They went to war. That's a match we'll probably watch after recording this, to be honest with you. Great match.
The bump he took through the concrete.
Right. Bump to the concrete. There was one point where Tommaso got hit in the head with a crutch. Some of the stuff that Gargano went through. Gargano always seems like most of his matches he takes a beating. But great
comeback kid, man.
Yeah,
so you gotta take a beating to be the comeback kid.
For sure. But yeah, overall great takeover. Hats off to Triple H running that company. Basically, man, all the men and women. Shayna Baszler, Ember Moon. NXT's in good hands, man. I mean, the future looks bright to me.
Yeah, it looks super bright.
Oh, lest I forget, Adam Cole.
No, Aleister Black.
Aleister Black and Cien Almas had a great match. It was probably the weakest match on the card, and it was a great match. I'm telling you, unsolicited plug, if you don't have the WWE Network, after you're done watching this video and subscribing, go ahead, check that out, man. It's free for the first month. Might as well do it.
Might as well, after the first month, change your email.
Right, you can go ahead and cancel that mug after the first month. And if not, I mean, it's $9.99 a month. So, like I said, unsolicited. I don't work with WWE. But if you want to check out some of this dope stuff, if you're a wrestling fan like we are, even falling out of it, if you're looking for a good time to get back into it, I think this is the time to do so.
So it's free plug, man. Free plug.
Yeah, definitely. Coming off of a takeover, going into WrestleMania. Long show. It was over 7 hours this year. It was the longest in history. But I feel like it kind of had to be because all these guys and girls on the roster are so talented. The work rate is so high right now. And I don't know about you, for me, it delivered. WrestleMania delivered.
The first match, my favorite match, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, and The Miz for the IC title.
Talking about, we spoke about it just a second ago with TakeOver, setting the tone. First match of the night, triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship. They damn near stole the show, but first match.
Crazy, man. Just the bumps, people taking shots. I think Seth caught in with a super kick right on the chin, bro. Right on the chin. Looked like he was KO for a little bit. The Miz looked, I don't know if the Miz was hurt, but it looked like the Miz bruised some ribs because he was taking shots.
Yeah.
And when Finn Balor did his finisher with the 2 stops, he looked like Miz took all of that. So, great match. Favorite part of the match wasn't no spots or moves. It was when Seth was swinging the title around after he won it. I think that was the first I see that amazing.
That's old school Seth. That's old school. That's the Indies. That's That's FCW actually before they went to NXT. So it's tight that that was something that caught your eye because it's something he kind of brought back. You know, something he hasn't done in a while.
I like that.
Moving on from that match, Asuka, Charlotte. For me, 1-on-1, I know there was a lot of hype behind AJ and Shinsuke. For me, singles, 1-on-1, this was the match of the night. I mean, both of these women stole the show. I mean, Asuka, Charlotte, so smooth, so crisp, physical, technical, told a great story, great match.
Yeah, there was a spot in the match where Charlotte got suplexed onto the floor.
Right.
Bruh, I don't know, there's some man not taking that bump, and she took it like a champ and came out with the title. I thought Asuka was going to win. I thought that was the set story, but it came back with Charlotte, and I see why, because Ronda Rousey had a great match.
Right. Later on in the night, we will see Ronda Rousey, Kurt Angle team up against Triple H and his wife Stephanie McMahon. Great match, man. This was another match. Hindsight being 2020, this probably should have closed the night. Leading up to the match, mic skills, the little bit of in-ring work that we had seen from Ronda, I thought it was rough, man. I didn't think she sounded good on the mic. I felt like most of her interactions with Dana Brooke, with Absolution, even with Stephanie, it looked too choreographed, too scripted. Night of WrestleMania, she showed up, showed out, and stole the fucking show.
Wow, bro. Stole the show. And it was by far, she really did her thing in there. The wrestling moves, the arm bars, bringing that MMA side to WWE. Bro, amazing. Really did it for the female. There was a spot in the match where she heard Karada Triple H
right into an arm bar.
Bro, video game stuff, ladies. She had been video game stuff. So, she really stole the show, man. Stole it.
Yeah, I mean, Ronda throwing the punches at Triple H in the corner, lifting a 270-something pound man.
Had him just holding
Right. I felt like Stephanie came through. Stephanie's never had a match at WrestleMania. Stephanie's not a real wrestler, and I thought she did an amazing job. Kurt, kind of worried about him, didn't look great at Survivor Series, showed up, and it took him a minute. I'm not going to lie. It took him a minute to warm up. But once his adrenaline kicked in, he was looking just like Kurt Angle of old to me. He looked really good. Triple H, of course, Triple H stays ready. I mean, he's called the game, and at this point, it's apropos because he really is the wrestling game at this point. I mean, like we said, NXT, what he did with Ronda, Kurt, and his wife Stephanie, great all-around weekend, especially if your name is Triple H.
How did you feel about the Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan match?
I thought that was another good match, man. More than anything, I'm shocked to see as physical as Shane was able to be after suffering from a minor infection, diverticulitis, a hernia, all these things that tell you he should not make it to WrestleMania, let alone make it to WrestleMania and get a beating and really wrestle. I thought Daniel Bryan would probably carry most of the match. Shane carried most of the match and took most of the punishment for that hot tag, and that surprised me. And then tagging in Daniel Bryan, I felt it was perfect, a perfect place for him. The pinnacle of his career, WrestleMania 30, to now be at WrestleMania 34 and get that win. I felt he looked like he hadn't missed a step.
Yeah, didn't miss a step, looking amazing. The crowd behind him. Yes. Shane McMahon, I love to see a good coast-to-coast any day of the week.
Right.
So it was cool how they put Sammy on the trio roll, coast-to-coast. And it was a good WrestleMania. The Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles match was pretty good.
I mean, at this point, it's hard to see AJ having a bad match.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody you put him in there with, he's gonna have at least a good match. I felt that this was a good one, but they really hyped it up beforehand, and I think that kind of was to their detriment.
Called it the dream match.
Right.
It was a lot of stuff.
Right, and at the match placement at that point of the night, like we said, it was a 7-hour show. Just the spot they had, the crowd was kind of tired at that point. And it was kind of too quiet to really keep the energy of the match up. But overall, good match. I was glad to see Shinsuke turn heel at the end. I'm nervous for him. I don't know how it's going to work out, and I feel like if it doesn't work out, this kind of might be a sink or swim situation. But Shinsuke has some history in Japan as playing a heel. So we'll see how it works out, man. I'm excited to see where it goes, and I'm excited to see more matches from them as well.
Yeah, I want to see more matches from them. How did you feel about the Brock and Roman Reigns match?
Man, Brock and Roman, man. I watched this match 2 times. Watched it the first night, and it really left a sour taste in my mouth. I'm not going to lie. But I thought, let me watch it a second time, fresh eyes. Like I said, long show, last match of the night. But watching it again, man, it's too repetitive. The fans did not help it. They shit all over the match.
Yeah.
But even watching the second time, ignoring the fans, how many Superman punches are you going to do? Suplex City, which I don't mind, but when you encapsulate it with nothing but motherfucking F5 suplexes, Superman punches and spears, is like, what is this match? It's just a bunch of repetitiveness.
Same match from last year's WrestleMania, basically.
Their match at 31 was pretty good, actually. Yeah. They had a good match at 31 until Seth cashed in. Yeah. But this match, it went on too long. Maybe if they hadn't made it the main event, it would have also been received better. Hindsight being 2020, Ronda probably should have main evented, because that was the match of the night that everybody got excited for. But overall, this was just not a good match. I'm not sure where they're going. Brock signed a new contract. People are still, at this point, are unsure if it's an extension or if it's an actual contract. We know he wants to fight in UFC. We know Dana White said he wants to fight in UFC. So it's kind of a swerve, a surprise ending to see that him walk away with the title. But I think it was the right decision. I think the greatest Royal Rumble coming up, you probably switch the title then. Regardless if Brock's on the contract or not, he'll need time to train for a UFC fight. But overall, main event, WrestleMania, physicality was up to par. That elbow Brock dropped to split Reigns open. I really loved that part of the match, but overall, like I said, takeaway, too repetitive, man.
Yeah, too repetitive, and we've seen the match before, so I was expecting more. And I don't know, it was just weird. It was a weird match because we know what we were going to see. And I feel like their matches play out the same all the time. But off of that match, a match I wasn't really fond of was the Triple Threat Tag Team match for the titles with the Bar, the Bludgeon Brothers, and no.
You're talking about the Bludgeon Brothers, the Usos, and the New Day?
Yeah, the Bar were in a different match.
Right.
Against Braun Strowman. Excuse me, but the Triple Threat Tag Team match, I felt like was a little bit too short. I don't know. I was expecting more for the match, but I see why. It was a long card, so time got to get cut somewhere.
Right, and you got to get those guys on the card. I mean, especially the New Day and the Usos specifically. Both of those teams have been killing it. The New Day were the hosts of WrestleMania last year, which is monumental, but they didn't get a match. Yeah. The Usos, 9 years in the company. This was their first WrestleMania match being on the main card. So you got to reward those guys. So the match was what it was. Other than that, we saw on SmackDown the Usos and New Day have another match, which was a good one. Superstar Shakeups coming up. We'll see what happens. Monday night we saw a good after Mania Raw.
Yeah. How do you feel about Bobby Lashley coming back?
Bobby Lashley coming back excites me, man. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do with him. The last time he was in the company was a little bit after Brock left, and one of the dream matches that's floated out there for a while is Bobby Lashley versus Brock. I even heard Paul Heyman in an interview a couple years ago saying one of the jokes in the back was that Bobby Lashley, they called him Black Lesnar, right? So this is a match that you would think, if Brock has signed a new contract, this is a match we have to see. If I'm Vince, I'm trying to do it at WrestleMania or even SummerSlam, but
I would do it at SummerSlam. I would put SummerSlam. SummerSlam was already a big pay-per-view.
Especially if you take the title off Brock, you can do that match. That's a big money match that people will want to see without putting the title on the line. You could save that for another spot. But we'll see what happens because, like we said, Brock is going to fight again in the UFC. I don't know what that situation is. We know he has to do the 6 months before he can fight. But they'll probably sign an exemption like they did for his last fight where he won't have to do a full 6 months. Dana White's already said he wants him to fight the champion. The next heavyweight fight between Daniel Cormier and Stipe Miocic.
Yeah.
So that will be a good fight. It's going to be interesting to see how that all plays with his WWE life, though.
WWE life, but Bobby Lashley still shaved that suplex he did to Elias.
And Elias is a big dude. I could get into a whole nother show about Elias.
Yeah.
He's really been doing this thing right now. The WrestleMania, we didn't touch on this, but WrestleMania, the fake out with Undertaker and Cena, Elias coming out first, that was a great heel heat gathering tactic for him. And he's ready, he's poised, man. I think overall, wrestling is in a good place right now.
Right, WWE, great place, NXT, you know, just overall, the overall product is just amazing. The talent, the roster is like talent right now, all talent. All superstars, man. I'm ready for the Velveteen Dream to come up, but is there room for them? That's how good the
roster from SmackDown, Raw, NXT, even 205 Live. Like, there's so many talented wrestlers in the WWE right now. It's crazy. Superstar Shake-Up is coming up this upcoming week. Raw, SmackDown, people mixing up. 3 predictions. Who do you think is most likely to move to either Raw or SmackDown? If you had to pick 3 names to move.
All right, AJ to Raw.
You think they're going to move the WWE Champion to Raw while they have the Universal Champion?
Yeah, I mean, maybe if they take him off of it, but I think Vince wants AJ on Raw on some point in time, so maybe they switch it up. Somehow I think AJ's getting to Raw no matter what. I think that's happening. Miz to SmackDown, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. And the Usos to Raw. I think that's it. What about you?
Personally, I'm not quite sure. I think there's a good chance at the Intercontinental title and the U.S. title switching. So you would have Jinder moving to Raw with Seth moving to SmackDown. I think Seth on SmackDown makes a lot of sense. I know they were heavily pushing the Monday Night Rollins thing, but I think that makes a lot of sense if he's on SmackDown, just for the work rate. That's not my prediction. That's just something I would like to see. If I had to really pick predictions, I'd say Usos to Raw. I think Daniel Bryan probably goes to Raw. He helps SmackDown, but if I'm Vince, I want that guy on Raw.
Question about that. Is he a full-time wrestler now?
He's back to full-time. Paige,
happy for him.
Paige is now the general manager of SmackDown.
Happy
She
for her
retired.
too.
Yeah.
Get that.
It's time for Paige, especially after the year she had last year. Last prediction, I would say probably move Miz to SmackDown. Even though I said move Daniel Bryan to Raw, I know you will be missing some money there. I just think Miz is on such a high level right now that he should be the world champion. And he's not going to do that on Raw with the Brock Lesnar's, the Roman Reigns, the Braun Strowmans. I think SmackDown will make a lot of sense for the Miz. But yeah, man, anything else you looking forward to wrestling-wise?
Wrestling-wise, the Greatest Royal Rumble, we'll talk about that coming up 3 weeks away, I believe, right? So there'll be a special edition show about that because that's in Saudi Arabia, big on that. So there's a lot of WWE going all out for that. So we'll talk about that in his own special show. But other than that, man, nothing. You know, wrestling.
That's gonna wrap it up, man.
Wrestling still being the same, feel me? Greatness.
Put a button on this weekend. NXT and WrestleMania, let's just encapsulate it into one. How would you rate WrestleMania weekend on a scale of 1 to 10 this year? 10 being the highest.
9.5. I can't. There's some stuff that's wrong with it, but perfect. But 9.5. You feel me? It was good.
I think that's fair, man. I give it a 9 out of 10. Great show all around. Like this show, man. Subscribe,
comment,
like, share,
follow.
Get us out there, man. We coming right back at you with another episode soon. So check us out, man.
Wakanda forever, you guys. No, we're out. Great show.
WrestleMania.
Great show, bro.